For the main course, remember, add olive oil to a hot pan, remove the fat from the steaks, roll out thin and season. Fry quickly on both sides, then set aside. Into the same pan, add chopped shallots and season. Add sliced mushrooms, a knob of butter and crushed garlic. Then add a splash of Worcester sauce and Dijon mustard. Pour in a dash of brandy and flambe. Once the alcohol has burnt off, swirl the juices, add the cream and stir in chopped parsley. Return the steaks and cook. For the sauté potatoes, heat oil. Slice the parboiled potatoes in half and place cut side down. Season, add crushed garlic and rosemary. Plate up and spoon the sauce over the steaks. Steak Diane with sauté potatoes and peas, done.
Fillets of beef, one of my favourite cuts of all time, packed with flavour.
Salt, pepper, hot pan, olive oil.
Make sure you get a really nice colour on the steaks.
Garlic, rosemary, thyme, bay leaf, chicken stock.
The secret is to keep them nice and moist.
Rest.
Whilst the steak's absorbing the stock, I'm going to make the gremolata.
Lemon zest, parsley, capers. Season, mix.
So packed with flavour.
Beef, carve. Gremolata. Sauce, olive oil.
That has to be the most perfect way of eating a fillet steak. Fucking delicious.
Pan-roasted fillet of beef with gremolata. Done. And now for my wild card. Hannah's fed up with her unbalanced, boring, gluten-free diet. She may not have eaten meat for 3 years, but now she thinks she's ready to give it another go. So I'm throwing her in at the deep end with a delicious, protein-rich steak.
This is the kind of beef, it's reared in Ayrshire, yeah? It's fed on grass in the summer, swedes and turnip in the winter. So it's a proper organic beef.
When I did eat meat, I would try and eat organic. I don't like the way animals are mass-produced.
No, and I stand strong on that one, nor do I. How do you like your beef? How do you like it cooked? Medium?
Yeah.
Yeah? Fine, so we'll cook it medium.
Remember.
OK, for the dressing, shallot.
I believe that good quality lean meat is a key part of a healthy diet. So I'm hoping this dish will help Hannah back on the road to recovery.
Turn over the steaks.
A delicious tarragon dressing should make her first fillet steak in years a little easier to deal with.
So it's quite a spicy marinade. Tarragon we just cut once. Flat leaf parsley.
Give it a stir and add to the steaks. Delicious.
What we're going to do is spoon that over. So as the beef starts to cool down, it absorbs all that amazing flavour.
Finally, finish the coleslaw with coriander and it's ready to go.
There's yours, medium.
I can't believe you can put so much different flavours and tastes just into coleslaw.
In a coleslaw.
I haven't quite managed to take on the beef.
You put the most amazing energy into looking after these animals, so you need protein.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah? A good bit of salmon, do you think? Or something
salmon
like
works perfectly.
Just not quite ready for the red meat.
Don't you worry about that. I'll eat it.
If you want a new twist on a favourite dish, spice it up with chilli. My next recipe is super simple to make, but has wonderful depth and complexity of flavours. Spicy beef salad.
Chilies. If you use them confidently, they can really add a new dimension to the style of cooking. But the real trick is finding that balance of flavours that really suits you, because that's the most important part. So this is the most amazing sirloin. You can see it's got that wonderful marble. For me, the secret behind this is cooking it quickly. Season the steaks generously. Salt and pepper. Push that seasoning into the sirloin. Take the sirloin out of the fridge literally 20 minutes before you want to cook them so it gets up to room temperature. They cook more evenly, but more importantly, you can actually season right inside the steak. This little bit of fat down here, season that as well, because that is what we want to roast and get that really nice and rendered. Olive oil in, a tablespoon Roll that round. As it starts to smoke, in with the steaks. Into the pan and lay away. Again, into the pan and lay away. If you don't hear that noise, the minute those steaks hit the pan, don't put them in. So the secret now is getting that colour on the steak, turning it once and once only, and cooking it for 2.5 minutes each side. What I want to do is to get that bit of fat rendered so it adds a lot more flavour. Just hold the steak down like that. And that starts to melt the fat, which makes it so much more tender. There should be no white fat left anywhere. Turn them over. Really important to have that steak up to room temperature before you start cooking it. So the inside is nice and warm, so it spends less time in the pan and more time cooling down. Really important. Now, 2 fingers, touch, it goes in, so it's rare. I'm happy for them to be rare because by the time I let them rest, they're going to go back to medium rare. It'll continue cooking. Out, onto a plate and let them rest. 1, 2. Let's get my juices over. Don't waste that. Really important.
Next, the spicy dressing. Take the seeds out of a chili to reduce the heat by rubbing it in your hands and tapping until the seeds fall out.
Cut it in half and just chop it in. Garlic and chili works brilliantly. A quick way of peeling it. Get your knife and just slam it down. It pops out very, very quickly. In, a little touch of salt. Rub. Start going around in circles first. You'll see it pureeing. Nice. Clear that off. Now, we've got the heat in there from the chili and that richness from the garlic. 2 teaspoons of palm sugar. This is where it starts to have that nice, sweet, sour effect. Fish sauce, fresh lime. This is a simple, fresh chili dressing, and it was something I fell in love with in Vietnam and Cambodia because it was just so easy. Give that a little mix and dissolve the sugar. Quick taste. Wow. Right, vegetables.
A great fuss-free way to get super thin ribbons of carrot is to use a veg peeler.
When they're that thin, they take the vinaigrette so much better. And radishes, just slice them down at an angle. Lovely. To give another dimension to the salad, I'm going to use a banana shallot. They are incredibly mellow, very sweet. Across, just chop up the shallot and mix that through. Want some sweetness in there now. Little vine tomatoes. Slice them in half. Tomatoes in. Shallot, radish, carrots and tomatoes.
Next, peel and slice cucumber, chop spring onions, and shred baby gem lettuce.
And then finally, get some fresh mint. It's young mint, so you don't need to take all those stalks off. All you do is hold the bunch upside down and then take it for a little trim. And just chop that once through. And you got that nice minted salad. A couple of tablespoons of dressing. Don't flood the salad with the dressing. We can always add, but we can't take it away. Now really mix that dressing in there. Make sure all that chili and garlic and palm sugar wraps around that salad. Beautiful. Onto the plate. The steak's rested. It's now nice and medium rare. That little bit of fat, we don't want to find that in the salad. Just slice that off. That served its purpose. It's kept that steak nice and moist. Just slice. Going with the grain. It's almost like slicing through butter. And look, inside. Beautiful, pink. You slice the beef too thinly, then it goes stone cold. And more importantly, all the goodness runs out of it. Nice, thick slices. Get the beef and start placing it around the salad. Take a little teaspoon of your dressing. The rest of your salad, sit that on top. We'll finish it off with some toasted peanuts. Peanuts in. Now those nuts are really toasted. Nuts on. Get another pan and just crush. Once they've cooled down, just run them through with a knife. You can hear how crunchy they are. Another texture, another taste of the salad. And then from there, sprinkle And then finally, take that, just finish it with a little tablespoon of that sauce. And there is one tasty, very well textured, spicy beef salad.
Steak sandwiches.
For me, the secret of a great brunch is fun and casual. Fuss-free cooking and everyone helping themselves. This is the ultimate steak sandwich. You want the Rolls Royce of beef. It has to be fillet. Now, season it beautifully. I like to open up the top of the pepper mill to increase the size of the pepper in the steak, so it gives that bit of heat. Nice little chunks. You just roll now, nicely, all the way around. Now, slice the garlic in half, pan nice and hot, olive oil in. Hold the steak and just place it into the pan. Don't drop it. At the front of the pan. We're going to tilt the pan forward, cook the back of the steak, dual purpose. Now, roll it back and sear underneath. Next, my garlic. And roast that garlic. Thyme, fry that thyme. I want to hear it. We're not looking for a lot of colour because you're going to dry out the fillet. So, just one end, turn it back down, and sear the other end in. Lift up your thyme, place it on top of the garlic. There. Lift up your fillet and sit that on top of your garlic. Butter in. Take a spoon, tilt the pan gently, lift up and baste. I've got that scented garlic, thyme flavour. The steak's going to cook evenly because it's sat on a little bed in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. Pan on. For the relish, you think of a steak sandwich, you think of a sort of nice heated tomato relish.
To make the relish, finely dice a red onion.
3-finger rule. 1 in front, 2 behind. Through and chop. Wow.
Next, roughly chop a chilli, keeping the seeds in for extra heat.
Start off with the olive oil. Into a pan. Onions, chilli. Generous with the olive oil. I want a nice sort of rich, silky relish. From there, take your tomatoes. You can just use red tomatoes, but these yellow and red make the perfect combination. Now, touch of salt in, pepper, and then roast those tomatoes off. Take a wooden spoon and just sort of break them up. Once the skins blister, the whole tomato just starts to release all that really nice, sweet texture. A little teaspoon of sherry vinegar gives that nice, acidic balance to the sweetness of the tomatoes. Turn down the gas and just let them sort of stew perfectly. Now, a steak sandwich would not be complete unless it had the most amazing mustard mayonnaise.
Simply add 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise to 3 teaspoons of whole grain mustard.
Now I've got the relish almost down to like a really nice jam. Now, I want to make that relish a little bit more fragrant. Some basil. Slice it through and sprinkle that basil in there. Beautiful. Look at this. There she is. My crown jewels. Time to take it out. Smell is incredible. Just baste one more time. Fillet. Touch, it's quite soft in the centre, so it's just coming up to mid-rare. Let it rest the same time you cooked it. And it'll be nice and pink evenly throughout the steak.
To make my sandwich, I'm going to char grill some sliced ciabatta bread.
Season it nicely. just a little drizzle of olive oil. I want to get that bread nice and crispy. Pan nice and hot. Bread in. Push it down. Smell is amazing, that sort of charcoal flavour. Once you've got those marks on the bread, it just stops the bread from becoming soggy. And look at this here. It is stunning. On. Slice it gently. One beautiful slice. Wow. It's nice and pink all the way through. And the beef is so soft. It's almost like slicing through butter. Let the knife do the work. Take a little bit of mayonnaise, spread that with the back of the spoon on both sides. Next, lettuce. Take that beautiful slice of beef. Oh, and then relish on top of that beef and just slice the sandwich in half. Beautiful. Now that's what I call a steak sandwich.
Trust me, serve this sublime sandwich for brunch and you'll put a smile on everyone's face.